going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 76 of the Sorta Interesting podcast, and welcome back to our holiday movie review series where we are reviewing Christmas movies for the entire month of December, leading up to our grand finale, which is today, Myles, darling, and we are reviewing How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Thank you for coming out tonight. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and I appreciate that. I am your host. My name is Christian Patam. With me, my co-host, as always, the Iceman cometh, jolly old Saint Dick, my best friend, and your favorite, Myles, mistletoe darling. Myles, Merry Christmas, buddy. How you doing?
You want to know where my mistletoe is?
Above your booty? Right above the hole? On your belt buckle?
Dangling on my dice.
You got like just tattoos of mistletoes right above the nips there. Before we begin here, Myles, I want to give a big shout out. I already told you about this. Our Patreon supporter, Taryn Huskis, of course. Also, he did the intro and outro music for our podcast, every podcast that we put on YouTube there. I just want to give him a big shout out. That man's been supporting us since day one on all the platforms. Put out a review on the Apple Podcast for us. Follows us on SoundCloud, on Spotify, and now a Patreon supporter. So thank you to Taryn Huskis. Yeah, really appreciate that, buddy.
He's a dope kid. I grew up with the kid, with the lad.
That's the thing. Him and I don't really know each other as well as you guys do. So it really meant a lot when I thanked him and everything. So that was really cool. But Myles, for our side podcast today, I want to talk to you about what you want to review next, because I've been deciding everything so far. I want I want to know what you want to review next. Of course, we have Wonder Woman 1984 on the docket, which is coming out, I believe, tomorrow on Christmas Day. So we could always do that next week, or we could take the week off and then do it the week after. But that is definitely going to be the movie coming up next. Okay. But what series do you want to do next? That's the question.
That's a great, fantastical question.
I've got a whole list here of shit that I've just been noting down since the inception of this podcast. I've got like Quentin Tarantino movies. I've got Scorsese movies. I got RoboCop movies on here because I haven't seen those in like fucking forever. Got like Pixar or Disney animated films, which would take fucking forever to do, but
long time.
I got like Batman movies on here, but I want to save that till the Robert Pattinson movie comes out. So, Mission Impossible. We could always do Mission Impossible. That's always great.
Mission Impossible is a fantastic.
But there is also another Mission Impossible about to come out like within the next year or so. So I kind of want to save it for that.
Time it for that.
Predator. There's always Predator that we could do. Predator series.
We did the Predators.
Yeah, we did. We did the latest, the last movie that came out, which was I think Predator. I think the Predator, because Predators I think was the one with Adrian Brody.
Oh yeah,
which was fucking sick, man. That was a great movie.
The fucking Chris Hansen series.
I have. This is a great. I have the Rock movies here, but I put the nickname, we could call it R&R. Rockin' Reviews, baby. That would be fucking awesome. Rockin' Reviews. I don't know how well that would do, though. Rock movies. He hasn't made too many good movies, so that wouldn't be too good.
No, I think we could. We could just like nitpick, get the rundown. Fuck the game plan.
Fuck the game plan. God, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, the beginning of his career was so terrible. Like,
for sure, Scorpion King.
Oh yeah, Scorpion. That's the first one out.
Bridge that Mummy.
The Rundown, fucking great movie. The Rundown.
Movie.
Oh my
Sean
god.
William Scott.
Yeah, Walking Tall. Another one.
Ahsoka herself.
That's right. Yeah. I also have like Star Wars. We never really got to that. We were supposed to do that like when Force. What's that fucking the last one that came out? Force.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. That's right. We were supposed to do that, but we were in the middle of moving at that time, so I was like, yeah, let's put that on hold. Got Lord of the Rings that we could do. James Bond with Daniel Craig, but that I want to wait till the new one comes out as well.
That got pushed till next year.
Yeah, that's till next year. So yeah, that would have already came out already. That was supposed to come out, I think, October. So that's a unfortunate one. Got Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, the Bourne series. Fuck, dude. I haven't even seen all of those movies. I don't think. I've seen the first one for sure.
Yeah. That reminds me. I think it said it in that trailer that the for Andor, Cassian Andor, that the writer or director for the Bourne series was doing the same shit for that Andor.
Oh, the writer and director is doing the Bourne, or the writer director of the Bourne series is doing the Andor show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, cool. I have the Pirates of the Caribbean series. That's a good one to do. Jurassic Park. Oh, there's actually supposed to be a new one coming out, so you should wait for that too. But yeah, I don't know, man. Did you have any other ideas what we could do after Wonder Woman? Because I'm kind of stumped right now. I got a lot to pick from, but I just don't know what you want to do, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And I want to... New Year... Should we just hit it with like a... Let's go with The Rock, man.
The Rock, okay. We could do Rock and reviews. That would be good, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just... Because I really want to watch... I mean, we could do like, I don't know, maybe 4 podcasts on it.
Yeah, we could just nitpick like his best movies and review those. That would be cool.
We could omit the Fast and Furious series because we have.
Oh, true. Yeah, we already have that. Yeah.
I'm thinking the Scorpion King, Rundown.
They have Walking Tall. That was a pretty good one. Trying to think, what else did he have? Red Iron Gang. He was in. Remember that one? The football movie where he was like the coach.
Yeah, that's right.
No, yeah, that one's not that great.
Why can't I think of like?
Go on his IMDb. What do we got here?
Yeah, because we have he has Mona, but I don't know if we want to do that.
Mona, what is Mona?
Moana.
Oh, that we could say for like a Disney thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Let's go on his IMDb.
G.I. Joe.
Oh my God, he was in G.I. Joe. Retaliation.
Jumanji. I heard
Jumanji's good, dude. Jumanji's a fucking good one. Yeah.
Okay, let's do Jumanji. And dude, they're making a San Andreas 2.
Oh my God, I don't think I want to do San Andreas. That movie terrible.
No, there's a Jungle Cruise and.
Oh my God, he was in the Doom movie. I don't know if you want to do that one. That one's.
Oh my God.
We could do it.
Really like I don't know. He's not like the main character.
No, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, he was one of the main characters. Oh my God, we got to do Pain and Gain, dude. Pain and Gain with Marky Mark. Hell yeah, dude. Pain and Gain. He was in Hercules. I haven't seen it, but I mean that's also a movie. No, okay. So we could do
the other guys, but I wish he had a bigger role.
Yeah, because he was dead in the first like 5 minutes of that movie.
I can be. No, is that the song?
I don't remember.
It's just jumping.
Him and Samuel Jackson, what a pair! I wish they would have done more things together. But yeah, we'll definitely do Scorpion King. We'll do the Rundown. We could do Walking Tall. I don't know. We'll see. Cause that movie.
Maybe we'll put that on the tail end. We'll do for sure. Pain and Gain.
Yeah.
And for sure, Jumanji.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, yeah, that's. I think that would be enough. Yeah, Rockin' Reviews. Yeah. Get ready for Rockin' Reviews, ladies and gentlemen.
Coming to you.
Oh my God, he was in Rampage. Jesus, I forgot that movie even came out.
Oh my God, with just big monsters, like the game.
Jungle Cruise movie, man. I want that to come out. Maybe it'll coincide. Maybe that will be like out by the time we finish this. We'll see. That's in 2021, so who knows?
Wait, he was in that 70s show.
Yeah, he played his dad in that 70s show. Do you remember that?
Johnson.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's sick as fuck. I didn't know that.
All right, it's settled. We're doing Rockin' Reviews, baby. That's going to be after our Wonder Woman podcast, that Wonder Woman 1984 coming to HBO Max, I believe tomorrow, streaming on there for free for HBO Max subscribers for, I believe, 30 days. So plenty of time for us to watch it and review it.
No excuse, people.
Yeah, and it'd be nice to do a plot rundown of a new movie, so that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. It's going to be way easier like this, too, because, you know, when you're in the theater,
It's really hard. Yeah, it's impossible to do a plot rundown. So it's actually to our benefit that it's coming out on streaming, so we could actually break it down.
Plot rundown should really apply more so if once we get back into it.
Yeah.
To movies that we watch like on our own without going to a theater, because it's tough to try to get all that and then to try to like, oh wait, it was like this? No, it was like this. And if it's too new, you don't want to give away everything. You just want to like go through a lot. I don't know. We'll see. It's like I haven't been in a movie theater in like
I know, right?
years.
Fuck, it's been a long time. I don't even remember what was the last movie.
What
was the last movie I even watched in the movie theater? Fuck, it might have been. It honestly might have been Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh.
That or oh no, I think it was Birds of Prey, which was pretty good in the movie theater. So, do you remember the last movie you watched in the movie theater?
Dude, you know me, I can't even remember where I was when these movies were coming out.
So it had to be, it might have been when we watched Bad Boys 3 or Bad Boys for Life together. Remember when it had a fucking code motherfucking brown on the way home? Holy shit. I was so scared I was gonna shit in your car. Like, oh my god.
The AMC over
over here, right next to me, right here. Yeah. Oh my god, dude. That was one of the worst code browns in my life. Like I remember I almost shat on top of the toilet. I was like, dude, it was really bad. It was the closest call I've ever had in my life.
And you just fucking ran.
I just ran, slammed the door behind me. I was just fucking, come on! It was like Kevin Hart and Soulflex, just come on! Almost sat on the toilet seat and just shat on it. I was so scared. Like, it was so bad where I was like, I didn't even want to look back. I really thought I did. I was like, oh shit, let me take a look. But crisis averted, everybody. Code Brown under control. But I guess that's it for our side podcast here. Myles, if they want to see more of a side podcast, if they want to see more content from us and they want to see the backlog of our podcast, where can they find us?
SortaInteresting.com. That's where you can find all these podcasts from the past that he was talking about, and this one that you're listening to right now, and link to our Patreon, patreon.com/sortainteresting. You can donate and get more of the content.
You could be like Taran Huskis.
Yeah, Taran Huskis is like, you don't even know what he's receiving right now. He's receiving solicited dick pics.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, that's all you get with the $1 tier. So you have to find out.
Higher tier might be the back end, might be butthole pics. Who knows?
Yeah, and then I'll spread his and he spread that. Yeah.
It's gonna be both of us looking back.
Higher the tier, maybe you're the one spreading it or taking the picture. Yeah, I don't know. The sky's the limit here, folks. Just go on the patreon.com/sortainteresting or just go to sortainteresting.com. That'll link you everywhere. We got sound. We're on SoundCloud. We're on Spotify. We're on iOS podcast app. We're on Google Play Store. You Google us. We're fucking
number one. Hell yeah. All of our shit. The full first page is our shit. So
exactly. Yeah. YouTube. No URL just yet, but you go to YouTube, you type Sorta Interesting in that search bar, and we're the first one that pops up. So congratulations
to you, Myles. You were the lead on that Mummy Returns podcast, and that's our number one video at almost 1,000 views. So
oh wow,
congratulations to you.
Oh, congratulations to you. Christian is the man with the plan.
All the videos that you were leading on, they're all the top views. So you got something there going on, buddy. Myles,
like, this fucking guy's retarded. I love it. They let retards speak on.
Myles is getting into some production details on How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Release date November 8th, 2000. We were 6 years old at that time. Writer Jeffrey Price, known for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Wild Wild West. What a fucking movie. Remember we watched that movie back in the old apartment? What a goddamn movie that was. And also did Shrek the Third, which I did not watch.
I'm trying to get that facial hair going from the guy in Wild Wild West.
Oh my god.
Freaking
shit.
Dan.
Yeah. Fuck. That's Lockhart from Harry Potter. Director Ron Howard, of course, has a whole rap sheet of work, but most notable, Apollo 13, fucking one of my favorite movies of all time. A Beautiful Mind, Da Vinci Code, and Solo, a Star Wars story. Budget a fat with an F, a fat $123 million. Box office $345 million, putting it at number 6 for the highest grossing movie of the year 2000. The top 3 movies were Mission Impossible 2, Ethan Hunt, what is Hunt? The Chimera virus. Gladiator, my name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, and Castaway. What a fucking that year. All those movies I think are on HBO Max. So this podcast is brought to you by HBO Max.
I have made fire.
I'm sorry, Wilson. Wilson, I'm sorry. Runtime 1 hour and 50 minutes. A little longer than our other Christmas movies that we reviewed, but one would argue for this movie, it is never enough when it comes to the Grinch. I needed more of that sweet Grinch drug.
I just want to be in that.
I want to live there so badly. God, yeah. What a fucking... We'll get into that in a second here. But Myles, what were your initial impressions of How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
Man, here's a movie I remember seeing, like...
in the movie theater? Is this the first?
Theater. Oh. No. You know, I don't remember going to movie theater a lot when I was younger, which kind of sucks. But I remember having it on DVD when the DVD came in the white case.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was widescreen.
Oh shit.
Yeah. When and I had only seen the animated version, obviously, like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. The only thing out, yeah.
And I love the Grinch. Always have growing up, you know. I was never a Scrooge. I was more of a Grinch lover than a Scrooge. You know?
Yeah, Scrooge is like our parent shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Scrooge is just too old to keep up with now. Yeah,
and you gotta.
It's not relevant.
Rich guy to give his money away, like, all right, this is too real right now.
Yeah, right. That's newsflash. That's still going on. That Scrooge story had no effect on anything in the real world. Guess what? I had to work today. Today was fucking Christmas Eve. The fucking boss didn't give a fuck. He still made me work today. So guess what?
Right there.
Moral of the story: doesn't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. That movie did nothing for anybody. Yeah.
On the other hand, I relate more to these Who's. They're just giddy. It's just uppity attitude.
They're living the life, dude.
When it comes to like Christmas, they love it, and I love it too.
I love that community that they have. They're all just holding hands, singing together. What a great community they have, huh? Yeah.
I really like giving gifts, and they do too.
Oh yeah.
So it's this movie, just a live action version. I didn't know this is what I needed, and circling back around, I instantly fell in love with this movie.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it. And I will continually rave that this is my all-time number 1 Christmas movie.
Thank you so much. Oh, I couldn't.
I'm going to tell you right now, my ranking. This is far and above.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's number 1. Even next year when we do more Christmas movies, this is still going to be top of the food chain, no matter what. Yes. But yeah, I mean, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is the greatest Christmas movie of all time here.
Our generation too. I mean, I know other people have Miracle on whatever.
Oh yeah, Miracle on like 34th Street. That movie's boring as fuck. Fuck that movie.
But it has a pretty catchy song.
Does it? What song is in Miracle on 34th Street?
Gosh darn it! I'll
it's not gonna beat any of the songs in this movie. That's for fucking sure. All the songs in this are fucking slaps. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, this whole soundtrack. But I do remember watching this opening night in 2000.
Wow,
yeah, I remember going with my dad to go watch this opening night, and honestly, I think it might have been at the Cerritos Town Center.
That's so cool.
Because I was living in Downey at the time, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. And unfortunately, I was a fucking stupid kid. Didn't retain anything from that night, so I don't even remember if I liked it that night. But it wasn't until years later, when I was like 8 or 9, when I got the movie on VHS, and holy shit, it changed my life. And I was a monster back then. I was just putting this movie on outside of the holiday season, which is strange, but goddamn, I loved it so much that I had to keep watching it. Myles, let's go ahead and let's get this out of the way. Let's list real quick everything this movie nails, okay, before we get into this plot rundown.
Okay.
First of all, the set design. Holy fucking shit. This whole set is practical and is so cool looking. all of those buildings that have like that Dr. Seuss aesthetic where everything's like kind of like tilted and they're all like
just so wonky. Like there's no guardrails on these steps that go like this and then like this and then like this for no reason.
No building codes that they have to follow. They're just everything's just like slanted on its side and everything is just a little oversized but not too much where it looks ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, their noses, their shoes.
Yeah,
their
shoes. Everyone's wearing size 16.
Yeah,
everyone's wearing Shaq shoes.
Heat, bro. Even the women.
Then Universal really knows how to do a set design. I mean, if you go on the ride now, you could see like that set where Betty's house is at, and it looks so fucking cool. The next thing,
an iconic part of the Universal tour.
Yeah.
That it's you can travel through it, and it's
so cool, man.
It shows you just how they made these sets to last, really, even though they're just supposed to be temporary, you know?
Yeah, I think they even said it's like made out of like styrofoam and shit, but it's still standing there today, even at Universal.
To how bad styrofoam is. But it looks great in this movie.
And then, and even at night, though, when you're going on the tour, they have all the lights, like the Christmas lights set up that they have in the movie. I'm like, dude, this is so fucking cool. It's like you're on the fucking movie right now. It's awesome. The next thing I have here is costume and makeup. Again, just not it's not super overdone, but done just enough where everybody's faces, where you can tell who the actors are, but you can't really pinpoint where the makeup is. You know what I'm saying? It's like their noses are a little different, but you can't really tell at all. But it all looks just so natural.
They nailed it without making it look like the animated version where they look just over the top goofy, or his illustrations, Dr. Seuss's illustrations. It works well. Like, it's weird.
It's just super subtle. Yeah, you can't. Yeah. It doesn't.
Even though it's not, you know, because like these weird people, these mutants that are walking around, you're just like, oh, these things should be hideous, but they're great.
It's not too much where it takes you out of the moment, you know. But with the exception of Jim Carrey, which it looks amazing, and you can't even tell that it's Jim Carrey under there, like, at all. The next thing I have here is the music. I mean, this movie doesn't put a bunch of just, you know, cheesy Christmas songs from the past. They used Christmas music like from relevant bands at the time. Like, they had Bare Naked Ladies, they had Smash Mouth, they had NSYNC. And then they created these original Whoville songs too, like, which is fucking crazy how they were able to build this little Whoville universe just through the music. Because I remember after watching this movie again this time, like, I was like looking up, I was doing research on like, did they get these songs from the original? And I can't find any of these songs. Like, these are all just like songs made specifically for this movie, because goddamn, they're so good too. It fits the universe so well. And of course, the creme de la creme of the movie, Jim Carrey's cover of "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." God damn, dude, he's so good. I had no idea until pretty recently that it was Jim Carrey doing all the voices in that song. Like, I thought
really?
Yeah, I thought it was like a bunch of voice actors with him in it. Really? Yeah, I was like, holy shit, he's doing every single voice in this, and it sounds like a bunch of different people, and he's just so amazing at it.
I mean, can we just we know Jim Carrey is an excellent physical comedian.
Oh yeah, probably the best to ever live, Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
oh my God.
and that's a very debatable, but for our generation, I think most would agree that that's very true.
Yeah,
and I mean, just the fact that I didn't know he made those voices.
Yeah,
so that's just extra range, because you can see his physical comedy, but now you can hear it too. You know.
And that does bring me to the final point I want to make here. It was Jim Carrey's performance as the Grinch. Just what a beautiful modern take on this outdated character from, you know, when our parents were kids back in the day. And he just twisted it and made this character his own while keeping that same traditional character arc. And the ability to get his facial expressions through all that latex and makeup on his face is so amazing, especially with
the part when he's
exactly, yes, that iconic big Grinch grin. Holy fuck! How does he even put his mouth like in that shape? It was up to his fucking eyeballs, his cheeks. I don't understand, but
he has like elastic muscles right here.
Yeah.
I could just pull it so high.
I don't know how the fuck he did that, but goddamn, man. Yeah, Jim Carrey, just the star of this movie, just fantastic. Made this movie what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Myles, let's get into a plot rundown here, if you're ready for it. The movie opens up with a VO by Sir Anthony Hopkins saying, "Inside a little snowflake, like the one on your sleeve, there happened a story you must see to believe." And he ends it with, "Whosoever holds this hammer, if they should be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor." It just fucking throws the hammer into space.
Could we just... Anthony Hopkins.
What a great VO. Fucking fantastic.
Wow.
I love his
You don't
voice.
realize it until then, like, because you don't... you're not old enough to watch an Anthony Hopkins movie.
Oh, yeah.
And appreciate during the time, but then you're like, oh.
We weren't watching Silence of the Lambs back then, so we didn't... No. Who the fuck would know what kid knows Anthony Hopkins? Yeah.
So such a good narrating.
Fantastic. He could read the whole book on tape, and I would totally buy it. That would be fantastic. We get that cool gliding shot through the mountains with an orchestral version of "Where Are You Christmas" playing in the background. We zoom into the town of Whoville, decorated top to bottom with Christmas decorations, and right away we can see how great this set design is. You just want to live there. You just want to cozy up and live there for the rest of your life. We cut to a chaotic scene of the Who's shopping inside of Farfingles. We are introduced to Lou Who, played by Bill Irwin, the father of our protagonist. Myles, this blew my fucking mind. I went to this man's IMDb. He is the voice of Tars in Interstellar. I was like, holy fuck.
Are you serious?
This whole fucking time?
No way.
Lou Who. Fucking Tars. God damn. What a great performance he put in Interstellar as well, dude. He's so fucking good in that.
The robot?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I was like, wow, this blew my fucking mind when I looked this up. It was so awesome.
Wow, that's cool.
Then Lou is reading off a Christmas wish list, and he mentions a snoozophone for your brother Drew, a munkle for your uncle, a fant for your aunt, and a bag of dicks for your cousin Dick. And then Lou is having trouble finding his daughter in this crowded store. We are introduced to our protagonist of the story, Cindy Lou Who, played by Taylor Momsen, who is actually the same age as us, had no idea, and is a fucking just complete smoke show now, Myles. Oh my goodness.
I know, right now.
Smoke show.
She's still a singer for a band, and
I don't know, but I think she is still a singer. I think she was on like Gossip Girl or some shit. She was on that show really? For a long time.
She'll do like some like Charlie XCX shit where she would take off her shirt on stage.
Oh.
And that's how like I found out that she was still alive.
I did not know that. She
succumb to drugs like a lot of child actors, and she is dimes.
Oh my god, dime, complete smoke show. God.
She's a dime piece.
A Diaz, yeah, as we all say. But unfortunately, she is not feeling the Christmas spirit and thinks of all the chaos is a bit much. On outside, a big clock ticks down 1 minute closer to Christmas, and a man outside shouts, "For the next 5 minutes only, 99%." Which you and I quote just out of nowhere all the time for some reason, just 99% off. And it is off to the races. All the Who's start rushing the store and buying everything. So much so the cashier just, "Don't forget your change." And then we get another VO from A-Hop saying, "Yes, every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not." Then we cut to the Grinch's cave, where he is using a periscope to spy on some young Who's who are ascending his mountain and trying to race to the top. The young blonde, aka the Who whore, says they should go back, and the Who bros say, "You're just a little titty baby suck bitch for being scared of the Grinch." And they say he lives up here in a big cave, and he only comes down when he's hungry for the taste of Who flesh. And they get further up the mountain when an intruder alert.
2 inches.
Dude, his fucking shoes were like that. I'm like, dude, you must be packing. You must be packing, my man. And they get further up the mountain when an intruder alert goes off in the Grinch's cave. The Who teens get to a door on the side of the mountain, and the blonde Who tells the Who dude to touch the door. They're about to touch the door when out comes a monster head, and the Who teens go rolling off the side of the mountain. They cut back to the monster head to see it's only Max, the dog, barking into like a microphone apparatus thing.
Max.
And we hear a voice say, "Well done, Max." And we are introduced to our antagonist of the movie, the Grinch, played by Jimothy Carrey, everybody.
Where he's just sifting through like some fucking onions and shit, right?
Disgusting. He just bites the onion like it's an apple. Oh, fucking gross. And he starts monologuing about just monologuing about these who fucks bothering him, and says, so they want to get to know me, do they?
Who fucks?
These who fucks. They want to spend a little quality time with the Grinch. I guess I could use a little social interaction, and we see the fucking biggest, freakiest smile on the Grinch's face.
The most Jim Carrey-esque smile.
Honestly, I don't know how this didn't freak me out as a kid, because this actually scared me now, watching this as a 20-year-old adult man with high blood pressure. Still scared me.
Funny how there's like, we need to have like a whole conversation on that, because there's stuff that we used to watch that just didn't phase us.
Yeah.
Courage the Cowardly Dog being one.
Oh my god, what a fucking scary, weird show that is.
I would not have my kid watch that
god,
show
dude.
if I was watching, because I'd be scared. I would not.
Yeah, that show is fucked up, dude. That show is fucking weird.
We need to have a whole discussion on that.
Yeah. Then we cut back down to Whoville, where we see the Grinch disguised in a robe and a Who mask. We see a group of bikers fall off their bikes, and the Grinch has a saw in his hand, and he gives that to a group of children and tells them to make sure they run real fast with it. And then a VO from A-Hop says, the Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why, no one knows the reason. It could be that his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were tied too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. The Grinch approaches the salesman, who says, what does he say, Myles?
Wait, which one?
The guy with like the suit, and
you buy a Sharpo.
And then the Grinch burps in his face, knocking him out. Then we see Lou and Cindy making their way down the street with their parents, with their presents, when while Green Christmas by Bare Naked Ladies is playing over the loudspeakers. The streets are filled with Christmas cheer. I was like, oh man, fucking BNL. What happened to BNL, man? Back in the day, Bare Naked Ladies. I haven't heard from them in a while. Then Cindy, still not in the Christmas spirit, and is confused why everybody loves the chaos. We hear the voices of the Who Bros from the mountain, and we learn that they are Lou's sons. And when Lou asks what happened to them, they say it was the Grinch, and the whole town comes to a complete stop over this. And then a big fat man comes out of a store asking, "Did someone say Grinch?" And we are introduced to Mayor Augustus Mayhew, played by Jeffrey Tambor, and his assistant Hubris, played by Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother. And then he calls Lou over and reminds him that this Christmas marks the 1000th Whobilation. And Hubris says, Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
It said Whoville's most important celebration.
I love that. He just chimes in with that. I just love the whole rhyming thing. It's so cheesy, but I fucking love it. They nail it.
It's like, it's subtle, and then,
it makes the conversations flow so well when they do the rhyming. Then Mayor Mayhew pulls out the book of Who and reads, every size of Who we can measure knows the Whobilation is the time we must treasure. And we see fucking the whole townspeople around him just eating this shit up. They love it so much. Then he tells Lou, please tell me your boys were not up there fucking with the only dude in this town who hates Christmas. And then Lou says, no way, they saw the Grinch, and they were probably just playing around with matches or defacing public property. And then the mayor's like, okay, breathes a sigh of relief. Yeah, he's like, thank God. I'd rather him rather than deface public property than bother the Grinch. Then I just love Jeffrey Tambor, dude. He's so good. Yeah, he's like, okay. At the post office where Lou works, all these last minute fuckers are bringing in their packages that they need to be delivered by tomorrow, and Lou stamps it heck of a rush and tosses it to his homie, which is so fucking funny, dude. Heck of a rush. I love that shit. In the back room, Cindy starts talking about the Grinch with Lou and wonders why nobody talks to him. And then Lou explains that the Grinch is not a Who, and Cindy says he's a what? And Lou says, exactly. He's a what who doesn't like Christmas. Then he points out his mailbox, which is covered in literal cobwebs and shit. And then it says, not a single Christmas card in or out. And then Cindy starts to wonder why. And then we see the Grinch in the sorting room now switching out all the mail from box to box and says, "For the rest of you, give it to me, Myles."
Eviction notice, jury duty, pink slip.
He says blackmail, pink slip, chain letter, eviction notice. It's so fucking good. And then Cindy makes her way to the sorting room and finds the Grinch's mask on the floor. We see the Grinch hiding on the ceiling when Max gives a sneeze, and the Grinch says, what does he say?
He says,
Gesundheit. And then Cindy sees him, screams, and the Grinch comes down. And she says...
He screams too, like...
from the top. And the Grinch finishes what Cindy's saying by saying that he's the Grinch, and she falls over into the sorting machine. The Grinch is about to leave when Max bites him, not letting him leave, and the Grinch pulls Cindy out of the machine.
He says, "That is not a chew toy.
That's not a chew toy. You don't know where
it's been. Get that out of your mouth."
And then Cindy tells the Grinch, "Thanks for saving me." And he says that wasn't saving her, and that he wasn't saving her, and proceeds to wrap her in wrapping paper and tells Max to pick out a bow.
Max, pick out a bow.
And he's like, "Man, can I borrow your finger for a second?"
Can I use your finger for a second?
I love that scene. And Cindy is trapped in wrapping paper, yelling for help. When Lou finds her and thinks she has finally gotten into the Christmas spirit by practicing her gift wrapping on herself. And Cindy starts to think that to herself that if the Grinch saved her, then maybe he isn't so bad. And then Lou and Cindy arrive to their house, which is a practical set with Christmas lights and all that you could see at Universal Studios, and it is fucking awesome. I highly recommend the studio tour to anybody going to Universal Studios Hollywood. Still one of my fucking favorite things in that whole park. Yeah. Oh god, man, I can't wait. I'm gonna hit every theme park once they open back up. We're going to Disney World once and for all. We've been talking about this for years.
I mean, they're open, but we're not.
Oh, that's true. They are open, but yeah. Floridians, man, can't trust them. They arrive back home when we are introduced to Lou's wife and Cindy's mother, Betty Lou, who played by Molly Shannon. We see her putting up a shitload of Christmas lights and says this year will be the year when people will say her name and think of who has the most spectacular lights in Whoville. And then out comes her neighbor, Martha May Whovier, who is dressed like fucking Mariah Carey on the cover of her Christmas album, or a Merry Christmas album.
It does look like Mariah Carey.
Yeah, she's wearing the sluttiest Christmas outfit I've ever seen. And then she whips out a turret that shoots out fucking Christmas lights onto her house.
She's sick.
And it sounds like a literal gun turret, and the sound effects are fucking great. And then later that night, we hear their phone ring. Just a little funny detail there. You can see all the lights in the house are all out since the power is being used by the Christmas lights, and they're using candles.
He's holding like
fucking giant, with like 5 candles on that shit.
Yeah, it's like a menorah almost.
And then Lou answers the phone, and we hear a muffled voice on the other end, and Lou asks, "Is my Sub-Zero Chillabator running?" And then he says, "Yeah, I suppose." And we cut to the Grinch, who is on the other end, and yells, "Well, then you better go catch it!" And then he just hangs up the phone. Never fails to make me laugh, no matter how stupid this fucking joke is. And then Jim Carrey, his delivery is so good.
His antics.
Yeah, and then he's just so proud of himself after. He's like, that was a good one. That was rich. That was a good one.
Let's go home.
Yeah, he sends head back home through the garbage chute that goes all the way up the mountain.
Dump it to Crumpet.
Mount Crumpet. We cut back to Cindy Lou, who putting out milk and cookies for Santa while singing "Where Are You Christmas?" And then the Grinch is now home in his cave, and he boots up the X-ray machine to check out his heart and yells down. He yells out, "Down a size and a half!" And he looks into the camera and says, "And this time, I'll keep it off." A little homage to those shitty weight loss commercials from back in the day. Then he hops in bed to check his answering machine.
I like the brick in the fourth wall there.
Yeah, he does that a lot in this movie. He hops in bed to check his answering machine, but there are no new messages, so he decides to check out his outgoing message, which says, Myles, I don't know if you want to take the reins on that one. His outgoing message there.
He says, wait, oh shit, dude, you gotta get it started.
He says, if you so much utter as one syllable, I'll hunt you down and gut you like a fish.
If you like the Paxby,
press the star key. The next he zip lines to his recliner and says to himself, he says, I don't know why I ever lived this place. I've got all the company I need right here. And then he yells out into this cavernous abyss, hello! And then the echo comes back, and then it says hello, and then, how are you? I asked you first. That's really mature, saying exactly what I say. And then the scene ends with him chewing his glass and taking a bit of a siesta. And then the next morning, Cindy rings the doorbell of two old ladies who are the Grinch's foster parents. And Cindy is there to ask them why the Grinch hated Christmas so much and wants to know everything about him.
Doing some investigative reporting.
Yeah. And they explain that he came the way all babies come. On calm nights, baby Who girls and tiny Who fellas drift from the sky in their own Poombercellas. And then we see the Grinch's Poombercella body check another one into space. Then one man comes out of his house and sees his baby, but he says, it looks just like your boss, which is so fucking good. A little subtle, like, adult joke, which is so good.
It's not something you catch.
Yeah. Way older, yeah. The baby Grinch lands on a tree outside of a holiday party going on. And then we see them play the keys in a bowl game, which is actually a dirty swingers game, if you didn't know this, Myles.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I wanted to bring that up too.
I guess like whoever's keys you pick up, you have to go home with them and fuck them hard, which is fucking crazy. What if two dudes pick each other's keys? I guess you're in. I
think it's more of like it's for like couples too.
Oh, like swinging couples. Got it.
Yeah, and I just thought they were just dirty, safe. You know, I thought they were.
That's what I always thought too. I always thought like, hey, you're not driving home. Put your keys in the bowl. No, it's to fuck. It's to fuck hard, Myles. And then in the party we hear "Better Do It Right" by Smash Mouth playing in the background. We get a little montage of him as a baby, and then we see him as a child in school. The teacher tells them. The teacher tells the class tomorrow is their big Christmas gift exchange, and everyone has to bring a special gift for a special someone. And then we cut to Cindy now interviewing Martha May, who was in the same class as the Grinch. And current day, she says she doesn't even remember the Grinch, when in reality she was licking a lollipop and staring straight into the Grinch's eyes.
Oh my god! How old are these kids?
Like in like second grade, first grade.
Fucking old enough to bleed, don't
we all know what that means, fellas. I mean, she's sucking on a lollipop looking at you. We also cut to
she's wearing a choker also.
God. Black belt and you know what. Then we also cut to Mayor Mayhew, who is also in the same class. It says Martha was his girlfriend back in the day. During the interview, Hubris is shining his shoes and he yells, "Put your back into it." Then we see a flashback of Mayhew bullying the Grinch for having a beard. And then back to Martha in present day, who says, "Did I have a crush on the Grinch? Of course not. Don't be silly." And then Cindy says, "I didn't even ask you about that."
The Grinch's cock? Oh, it wasn't even that hairy. I mean,
no, I didn't suck his cock.
Of his body. Go all the way down.
It's not like he came inside me. And then in the flashback, the Grinch goes back home, feeling the Christmas spirit, and decides to make a gift for Martha, which is like a little angel figurine thing. And
this shit was so cool because this particular scene when he's like going through the Christmas music is playing.
I love that music in the background.
Yeah, and he's Christmas just going through all the jewelry, just banging shit. I'm like, dude. This makes me want to make something.
And he's like holding the shit over the fire, and he's like, "Woo! The fires of love." And then he looks himself in the mirror and starts hearing the voices in his head about having a beard.
You're 8 years old, and you have
a beard. And then he decides to have a little bit of a shave. And then little Grinch. Little Grinch, he does looks like him. He has like the parted in the middle with like the Mr. Wonka, I love your chocolate. I love your chocolate, Mr. Wonka. And then the teacher asks him, little Grinch shows up to class the next day wearing a paper bag over his head. It gives his gift to Martha, and the whole class starts laughing. And then the teacher asks him to take the bag off, and we see his face has been cut up from the razor, and more laughing ensues.
Perfect. He had his boot up.
They always, I like that. It's like perfectly covering his face in the boot. This thing I never really understood. They always show like old timey movies with people like toilet paper on their face after the cuts. I'm like, who puts pieces of toilet paper on their face? I don't understand.
Yeah, to cover up the blood. Also, when you go to take that off, the toilet paper is gonna stick.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You're gonna just like pull the scab off and start bleeding again. I don't. Maybe sharpen the blades on your razor.
That razor does not look like it's moving nearly fast enough. It's like moving like this. Yeah, it's like it's barely even like moving at all to cut. Then he becomes furious with everyone and says, "Fuck Martha, fuck Christmas, and fuck Whoville," and says, "I hate Christmas," and he runs away.
Fucking Travis Scott's like,
yeah, he's just fucking deadlifts or fucking presses that shit and throws it.
Presses a Christmas tree.
And then we cut to a little Grinch climbing the mountain to his future cave.
About Martha, she's just like the muscles.
Oh my god, what a fucking. She was getting moist. Let's be honest. Yeah,
this little boy throwing a Christmas tree.
A little hairy green man. She was check the panties after. Then we cut to the little Grinch climbing the mountain to his future cave, and it transitions to him in the present day, brooding over the town of Whoville.
He's just standing with his arms on his head,
standing there like that.
In the second shot where he's older, he's just like naked almost.
Honestly, this whole scene was very sad. Even today, it still sucks to watch, to be honest. And then the Grinch,
just like any Christmas movie. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Quick, just great origin story.
Yeah, very quick.
Just
I like that.
Very quick, brief. We get it, and it was funny.
We know exactly. Yeah, we know exactly why he hates Christmas, and it was heartfelt, and it was it was pretty sad.
Yeah.
Then the Grinch whips out the yellow pages and reads it off alphabetically. Advaki and Abikaniza who? I hate you. Then he starts to hear some music. The hate. Double hate. Loathe. Then he starts to hear some music coming from the town and realizes it's the Whobilation, and realizes tomorrow is indeed Christmas Day. And then back down in Whoville, Cindy tells Lou that she is thinking about doing something drastic for Whobilation, but Lou isn't really paying attention. Then now at the Whobilation, Mayor Mayhew is discussing nominations for Whoville Holiday Cheermeister. Then he asks for a nomination, and Cindy yells out, "I nominate the Grinch." The mayor calls Cindy over and basically tells her the Grinch does not fit the description. And then Cindy tells him...
Because he's looking through the book, it says, well, I lost my spot. But it's in there.
Cindy tells him no matter how different a Who may appear, they will always be welcome with holiday cheer. Then, as you said, that the mayor comes back at her with a fake verse that says, the award cannot go to the Grinch because get... lead pipe cinch.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, lead pipe cinch. And then Cindy's like, "Are you fucking joshing me right now, bro? It doesn't say that." And he's like, and he's like, "Yes, it does. It does say that." And he's like, "Oh, lost my place there."
But it's in there.
Jeffrey Tambor, dude, he's so good. Then he says it does say it, but he lost his place in the book, and he tells Cindy straight up that the Grinch will never come down. And then the guy, what's his name, Hubris, he says, and when he doesn't, the mayor will wear the crown. And the crowd cheers, and the band starts
like more or less.
Yeah, more or less. And then the band starts playing one of the fucking coolest songs in the whole movie, the whole town singing along, and it goes like, deck your heart with jollity, style your smite with Christmassy, flick some flucking on the tree, let there be Whobilation, bake the fruitcake, egg the nog, feed the flaming whole-tide log, base the beast and gulp the grog. Which I was like, who came up with these fucking lyrics? I don't know who is writing these fucking. And then it ends with like the Grinch waking up and realizing he's actually singing along with the song. And the Grinch is now doing everything he can to drown out the sound of the music, including blenders. He gets like a jackhammer out and starts just jackhammering his ground.
Yeah, blenders full of like nuts and bolts that he's just turning on. He said,
And the song's going on in the background, that tick tock, counting down the Christmas clock. And then he uses a monkey to bash the cymbals on his head. And then Cindy sneaks her way into the cave and tells him she is nominating him for Holiday Cheermeister. And he's like doing everything he can to fucking get her out of there. And he's like ripping his shirt off. And he's like, I'm a psychopath. And then, but she's not buying any of it. She tells him he has to go to accept the award, which stops the Grinch in his tracks at the thought of getting an award. And she tells him Martha May will be at the ceremony, and this gets Grinch's juices going, and he yells out, "Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Martha, baby, but the G-Train has left the station." I fucking love that line there. Then he tells Cindy he will go, but was of course lying, and sends her back down to Whoville. The Grinch picks up the Whobilation invitation and contemplates going. And he says even if he wanted to go, his schedule wouldn't allow it, and opens up his planner. He says, 4 o'clock, wallow in self-pity. 4:30, stare into the abyss. 5 o'clock, solve world hunger. Tell no one. 5:30, jazzercise. 6:30, dinner with me.
I can't cancel again.
I get canceled. Then 7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. And then he says, I'm booked. I can't do it. And then he tries moving around some things in his head. And he says, but what would I wear? And then so he takes a tablecloth and turns it into like a little dress. And he says, if I can't find something to wear, I'm not going. And just as he says that, he hears a yodeler on the mountain and snatches him up, taking his lederhosen, which are those like German overalls.
Yeah.
And the Grinch puts the lederhosen on, models them for a bit.
Ooh. That's it.
That's it. Not going. And now we are at the Holiday Cheermeister Awards ceremony in Whoville. And the mayor congratulates the Grinch, but he is nowhere to be found. Cut back to the Grinch, still contemplating, and he says, all right, I'll swing by for a minute, allow them to envy me, grab a handful of popcorn shrimp, and blow out. Which is
great.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's my kind of game plan. Go flex your fucking, let's go flex the fit for a bit, right? Grab something to eat and just fucking bounce. Irish goodbye.
I love it.
And then he heads to his transport slide and says, what if it's a cool prank? What if it's a cash bar? How dare they? Then after more contemplating, Max just says, fuck it. And then pulls the lever, sending the Grinch down to Whoville.
Gronk.
Pull the lever! And then the mayor then tells the crowd, since the Grinch is not here, I guess the award will go to the runner-up, which is himself, of course. And then Hubris starts describing him as a man who is a handsome nobleman, and a man that has had his tonsils removed twice. And then the mayor, he's about to go into detail. He's like, well, the funny thing about that is, and then it's so yeah, he gets like real close to the microphone. He's like, well, what happened with that was, and then I don't know where the Grinch comes out from the garbage chute and right into Martha May's titties. I was like, oh fuck, this is a kids movie.
He's motorboating.
Yeah,
we get swingers, we got motorboats. Come on.
And then he goes on stage to accept his award. He's like, all right, give me a award. Come on, while I'm young. And then just always fucking, it is always cracked me. While I'm young. And then the mayor stops him. He says, not so fast, Holiday Cheermeister, and has a little family reunion planned for him and his foster mothers. And what does the Grinch say?
Are you two still living?
Just so fucked up to say.
He said they clothed you.
They clothed you.
Fed you.
Dude, Jeffrey Tambor, man, he is so good in this. And then they give him a dope ass Christmas sweater that lights up, man. I fucking love that sweater. And the next thing you know, the celebration is on, and the Grinch is put into the chair of cheer, and he's like, chair of cheer.
Chair. Cindy's like, please, Mr. Grinch.
Yeah, tell me about the chair of cheer. And then first, he'll put his taste buds to the test as he judges the pudding cook-off. He like looks back. He's like, the fuck, dude? It's just these little things, dude. I'm like, it's so fucking funny what they do in this movie.
Oh my god.
And then we see him just like, taking spoonfuls of pudding, and the guy said, "This is not pudding." He puts it in his mouth. He's like, "What is it?" He just immediately
what is it?
He immediately spits it out.
He's got remnants of all the other puddings
all around
jammed in his mouth.
Next was the Christmas conga, and at first he's like, "Guys, I gotta go. Yeah, I and,
all right.
And then he's like, "Yeah, fuck it," and he just kills it at the conga. And then next is the fruitcake fa la la, and everybody's just shoving it in his mouth at the same time. And then my favorite, fudge judge. He's eating all this fudge with such anger. He's like,
there was like a blue one.
Disgusting. It's like yellow, and I was like, what kind of fudge is yellow? Made it myself. And then he's just, "Is that all you got? Is that all you got?" There's this part I didn't even notice, but like I was watching with subtitles. He's like eating. He's like, "Yeah, put it in. Go ahead, put it in harder." He's like, "Is that all you got? Is that all you got?" And then we see a potato sack race with the Grinch racing little kids.
Slow motion too. I
Slow
love
motion.
It with that fucking
the Olympic song playing in the background, and the Grinch is just having a gay old time. He's like, "I'm number one. No child could defeat the Grinch." And then he's like standing on the chair, and he's just like waving to everybody. It's so good.
He's got the crown on, the laurel crown. It's
arguably the best part of this whole movie here. And now it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Present Pass It On. And the Grinch is gifted a razor like the one we saw in the flashbacks with the little Grinch. He says, "The gift of a Christmas shave." And then the mayor says he has something for the love of his life, and proposes to Martha May and offers her, "It's a new car."
That shit looked like a Nissan Sentra.
I like the little tidbit. He says, "Provided by the taxpayers of Whoville."
Yeah, it's like for real.
And then he's like, "You got 20 seconds on the clock, Martha." And then before she can answer, the Grinch puts a huge scratch in the car and starts talking about all these shitty gifts people throw away. And I just love when Jim Carrey goes from the Grinch voice to his normal voice and then back to the Grinch voice. That's what it's always been about. He is so fucking good at that. And then he picks the mistletoe off of Martha's ring box.
I want a pony I can ride it 3 times, get rid of it, sell it to make glue.
Sell it to make glue! He takes the mistletoe off of Martha's ring box and says, "Pucker up and kiss it, Whoville." Mistletoe. He puts it right on top of his ass. And then he takes the razor and shaves the mayor's head. And then the mayor's like, "Do something." And then Hooper takes the razor and just fucking shaves his own head as well. And it is chaos on the streets of Whoville. Grinch takes some whiskey from Ron Howard's dad. Yeah, mind if I... Yeah, that guy's Ron Howard's dad. He said, "Mind if I wet my whistle?"
He said, "That's my good stuff."
That's my good stuff. And then burns down the big Christmas tree. And then the Grinch steals a little car. And then he crashes it. And then, "It's gonna blow!" And then it's like the smallest little car. He crashes it. It's gonna blow. And it just...
Michael Bay explosion.
I like his reaction. It's so good. Blows up like a live action movie or like an action movie.
When he crashed, his legs just all mangled.
Yeah, he's like all crooked. And then the people of Whoville come out after the chaos is over to a destroyed Whoville, and the mayor is disappointed with Lou and his family. And the Grinch is about to go back into the garbage chute when we see the townspeople bring out another tree, and then the mayor's like, "Good thing we have a spare."
It's like fully decorated.
Yeah, with the star on top and everything. And the Grinch is like, "God damn it, man. These fucking people are relentless." And then he goes back to the mountains with 4 hours left until Christmas. And the Grinch starts thinking about how Christmas Day will be and says they'll bang on tongue tinglers, they'll blow their flu flounders, they'll crash on jing janglers, and they'll bounce on boing bounders. And then Ahop's VO kicks in saying, "Then who's young and old will sit down to feast, and they'll feast, and they'll feast," and it cuts to Grinch. He's finishing it now. Feast, feast, feast. And they eat their Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which sounds so good.
Yeah, it had like 6 fucking legs on there.
Yeah. And the Grinch says he must stop this Christmas from coming. And then the Grinch sees his dog Max with a snow beard, and he says, "I know exactly what to do." And we get a little montage of him. Yeah.
Did you get the part where he starts realizing he's talking in
rhyme? Yeah, it was like around that part. He's like, "I'm speaking in rhymes."
But I try not to rhyme and shit.
And then the Grinch sees his dog Max with a snow beard and knows exactly what to do. We get a little montage of him making a Santa suit, and says, "With this coat, in this hat, I'll look just like Saint Nick." And with a perfect transition into Jim Carrey's cover of "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." And this scene is arguably probably the best scene in this movie, honestly. It's so fucking good. And then during the song, we see him constructing his sleigh. And he's like, "I asked for 3/4, not 5/8. Stay focused," to his dog. And then Grinch sees Santa taking off his sleigh. And then he says, "Fat boy should be finishing up any time now."
And you see him flying off on the...
And this little thing he says, like, "Talk about a recluse. He only comes out once a year and doesn't catch any flack for it." And then Grinch uses Max as his reindeer, and uses his motorized sleigh to get back to Whoville. And then the first house the Grinch hits is none other than Cindy Lou Who's house. And he ties a rope to his waist and prepares to dive through the chimney, and he says he's planning a double twisted interrupted 4 flying 2.5 with a combo tuck and a pike. High degree of difficulty. And then he dives right in there. High degree of difficulty. And he takes out moths to eat up the stockings. And he puts a huge vacuum tube through the chimney and to suck up all the presents. And then we get a great VO from Anthony Hopkins here. Then he says, "Then he slunk to the icebox." And then Jim Carrey's like, "Slunk?" "He eyed the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why that Grinch?"
Like going through there.
I like the milk. The milk, he's just like pouring it all over his face. "He cleaned out the icebox as quick as a flash. Why that Grinch? He even took the last can of Who hash." And then he's about to stuff the tree up the chimney when he runs into Cindy, who thinks he's the real Santa Claus. My favorite part about this, Cindy asks, "Santa, what's Christmas really all about?"
Yeah, that's right.
And then he just pops his head through the thing. "Vengeance!"
I mean,
it's about
presents.
It's just vengeance, like he's fucking Batman. And then after Cindy's house, we get a montage of him going to every house in Whoville, taking all their shit and all their food and stuff. And then all the presents,
like a thing with the cat.
Yeah.
He's always fighting,
just catching him in the face. And then we get that like weird in the background. It's kind of scary when like Jim Carrey's just like and he's just like laughing like maniacally when he's just staring to the camera. And then all the presents have been taken now, but his sleigh has run out of fuel, and Max has to pull the sleigh to the top of Mount Crumpet to dump the presents. And then the Who's wake up Christmas morning, and the mayor is furious and puts the blame all on Cindy. And then Lou says, "I want smoke." All right, Mayor. He says, "I want all the smoke." And he says he's glad he took the presents from you ungrateful fucks, and tells everyone Christmas isn't all about the gifts. It's about family and friends. And then Cindy steps away from all this and uses the garbage chute to get to the Grinch. And he's about to push the gifts over the cliff when he hears the Who's gathered around the Christmas tree singing. And he stands at the edge of the mountain, puzzled by the events taking place, and comes to an epiphany that maybe Christmas doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. And starts to have a heart attack, and his heart literally grows in his chest. It's like the physical comedy from Jim Carrey in this scene. He's just laying on the ground. His heart literally starts to grow in his chest. And as the sun begins to rise, he sees Cindy on top of the mountain about to fall, and he uses his Grinch strength to lift the sled and saves it all from being destroyed. And then with the presents saved, Cindy and the Grinch ride the sleigh back down to town to give the presents back to the people of Whoville. And then Martha gives the mayor back his ring, and she professes her love for the Grinch, which is a little weird because they barely know each other. And then the movie ends. The movie ends with the Grinch and the people of Whoville singing around the tree, just like in the original animated movie. And the town in the Grinch's cave having a big old gay party.
He said, "Who wants the gizzard?" I do.
Too late.
Too late. That'll be mine.
Oh man, but that is the end of How the Grinch Stole Christmas and the finale of our Christmas movies in review,
Probably
ladies and gentlemen.
Best and only live action Dr. Seuss movie.
Oh, absolutely.
I will acknowledge.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I to finish off like my final thoughts here, hands down my favorite Christmas movie of all time, and Jim Carrey's performance will never be beat as this character. So they just really need to stop remaking this series, because I know that even the animated ones, because they remade it. They remade the animated one.
Yeah,
but,
they made one came out in 2018.
Yeah, with Benedict.
I heard it wasn't that bad, but then again, I haven't watched it.
Do we need it? I mean, they already nailed it with Jim Carrey. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So.
Yeah, I assume that's where a lot of these older people are with like the new movies that are coming out that are like remakes.
Yeah,
they're like, I loved it the way it was. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You don't need it.
We're turning into those guys now, Myles. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This movie was made in 2000, so 20 years ago. Holy fucking shit world. Yeah, but Myles, what were your final thoughts of How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
Yeah, just like I said with like Home Alone and, you know, the quintessential just holiday movie that puts you in the mood, amongst other things.
Hey.
And it really just it's become my go-to every year. You know, there's like sometimes maybe I'll watch Home Alone like I don't know, once every other year, or Home Alone 2 this year, maybe Home Alone last year, or Elf this year. Sometimes I didn't even get through all of Elf this year.
I didn't even watch Elf this year. I probably have to watch it tonight. Yeah, damn.
You're probably going to. Honestly, I have to finish it tonight.
Yeah.
But How the Grinch Stole Christmas, it's watched at least 2 or 3 times throughout December alone. You know, and I plan on watching it again tomorrow.
Absolutely, man. It's the best movie to watch during Christmas Day. But man, yeah, just looking back at these movies we did this holiday season, it's been a great trip down memory lane. And I can't wait till next holiday to review some more. You know, it's there's so many Christmas movies.
If I spew off some
absolutely, yeah, go ahead.
So, according to Rick Baker, the prosthetic makeup Jim Carrey wore took about 2 hours to apply and 1 hour to remove.
2 hours to apply? Really? I feel like that would take a lot more.
I know, right?
Because I remember
3 hours. I mean, you gotta think that you got 2 or 3 people applying it.
That's true.
Different spots at a time, you know.
And I'm assuming most of it's like a suit. I think all the makeup's probably just like around like his face part, you know.
Oh Jesus! It says here that due to an appearance from Jim Carrey in the Graham Norton show, great show, he felt so confined and uncomfortable in the latex skin that he sought counseling from a CIA agent who taught him torture resistance techniques.
I heard about that. That's fucking crazy, man.
Dude,
so
just being it just feel like you're trapped. What? You're in it for hours because take it off.
Take it off, yeah.
Hour, you know. Oh my god, dude.
That sucks, dude.
Explosive diarrhea.
I mean, he has to get there early and stay late. That fucking sucks, dude. God. Yeah. Worth it though. Completely worth it. It looks so good.
The scene where the Grinch is directing his dog Max before stealing Christmas is Jim Carrey making fun of producer and director Ron Howard, imitating his style of directing. Howard found the scene hilarious and decided to include it in this movie.
Oh shit! Okay. He said,
"You're Frank with a red nose and nobody likes you." Action.
Did you notice his hat? By the way, it was like one of those Navy like sailor hats that said WSS Whoville on there or something, like where usually it says like the ship name on there.
Yeah,
but it said WSS Whoville on there.
Yeah, okay. I know he had a hat like that, but I don't remember what it said. Yeah, that's funny.
And did I look that up on Etsy? Yeah, I'm gonna buy it because that hat is dope as fuck. Yeah, they have it on Etsy. I'm getting it.
Okay. If you guys didn't know, Christian really likes like shit from like movies.
Oh my god, yeah. I love just like obscure like things from movies and TV. Yeah. A bunch of that shit.
The line 6:30 p.m. dinner with me. I can't cancel that. Improvised by Jim Carrey.
Oh, it's so good. It can't cancel.
It can't cancel again.
I imagine there's a lot of ad lib from Jim Carrey in this, right? They probably just let him go.
You let like when you make a name for yourself like that, I feel like they're just like, all right. And in this scene, the Grinch would say something with this kind of attitude.
Yeah, just an outline of what the scene's supposed to be. Absolutely.
It's just like a testament to like, it's not an actor reading lines all the time, or memorizing lines. It's somebody who is bringing a character to life.
That's why it made it so special, man. That's why it was such a special character that Jim Carrey did.
Jim Carrey, I just loved early 2000s Jim Carrey. Just he could do no wrong. Even 90s Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, so good, so good. That's a series we gotta do.
Ace Ventura, yeah, definitely. I haven't seen that. I mean, fuck, man, I haven't seen that since I was a kid. Fuck. Yeah.
So good. The Whoville set was built mostly on the backlot of Universal Studios behind the Bates Motel.
Oh.
During a break in filming, Jim Carrey surprised and scared tourists on the Universal backlot tour by running out of the hotel wearing a dress and brandishing a knife.
Oh, shit.
Nobody recognized him, and the tour guide at Universal Studios will tell you the story when you pass by the hotel on the backlot tour.
Oh.
That's the guy that they would say was brandishing a knife.
Oh, got it. Damn.
Jim Carrey surprises here too.
James.
That's crazy, dude.
That's
running
awesome.
out of the hotel wearing a dress.
That's awesome. God damn.
That's so him. I feel like anything he does. Producer and director Ron Howard was so thankful for Jim Carrey putting up with the uncomfortable hours to apply his makeup that during filming he put on the Grinch suit with full makeup and directed one day with the suit on.
Oh shit.
He intended this to be a show of appreciation to Carrey. However, when Carrey saw Howard in full Grinch outfit, he was angered, believing he was a stunt double who looked nothing like him. Oh, imagine having to put that fucking suit. Imagine sitting there for 3 hours to put fake hair put on you.
And just sitting in the suit all day during filming. It's like a 16-hour day. You just gotta sit in that shit. It's probably so hot. Yeah, I was about to say, it's so hot probably in there. Can't breathe in it. What do you have to pee or poop? You gotta take the whole fucking thing off?
It's just, it's all, you're hooked up to a machine. You get thing going down.
Cathetered.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Cathetered. Jim Carrey spent 92 days in the Grinch makeup, spending 2 hours in the morning getting in.
Holy fuck.
Out. According to Carrey, he became a Zen master while sitting on the makeup chair. That's
what a pain in the ass. Better than CG though. I'd rather them do practical than, like some CG shit. So
of course.
I'm glad they did that. Totally worth it.
In a sense, I don't know. I feel like you can just always tell.
Yeah.
Even it's just subtle. Obviously with good CG you wouldn't notice, but a whole movie like this, it just fits the bill too. Especially if you're making a live action like Dr. Seuss movie where everything's abstract.
Yeah.
Everything has to be curated.
The little attention to details you have to get. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can't borrow shit, really.
Yeah. There's nothing like it. Yeah, it's all like there's nothing like that aesthetic. It's amazing.
To bring it to life. But yeah, that's all I got for you.
Well, Myles, that was a hell of a run there we did with our Christmas podcast.
It's been a really great. Just to round it out, it's been a really good year.
Oh yeah,
there's been a lot that's going on.
Good riddance to 2020. Get out of my fucking face, man.
Yeah, we started off the year living together, and
it's been a crazy year. Yeah,
we ended the year we're not living together.
Proud of us though. We're knocking out these podcasts, man. It's easier than ever. We just can do everything remotely now. So next week or probably the week after, I don't know, up to you, Myles. We're gonna be doing Wonder Woman 1984, and then after that, Rockin' Reviews. That's gonna be a good one. I can't wait for that. Just a lot of nostalgic rock movies. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. But Myles, go ahead and give them the plugs, and we are out of here.
sortainteresting.com. That's where you can find this podcast and the podcast from the past. Our entire catalog of series like the Fast and Furious series and the Rocky series. It's now's a better time than ever. Everybody's got time off.
Spider-Man. Got the whole Spider-Man
right?
series.
Oh yeah, the Spider-Mans.
Fast and the Furious. Fuck, man. I felt like it was so long ago that we did those.
I know. We even have a bunch of Marvel movies in there. We really get in depth with those. Fucking nerds.
Because we love them.
We love them. Can't wait for the new shit coming. And so sortainteresting.com. You can find this podcast. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/sortainteresting. It's all linked in through the website, so you can go to the website. It's a one-stop shop kind of. But you go to Patreon, you donate. We got a few patrons already. Shout out to those people, and just like the podcast we previewed in the beginning, we'll have more content like that available to you. What else? We're on SoundCloud, we're on Spotify, we're on iOS podcast app, Google Play Store, anywhere podcasts are distributed. We're on YouTube. Type in Sorta Interesting, we're gonna pop up. We're right there. You type us in Google, and we got our own page, bro.
Absolutely.
But Christian did that. He called up Google and he was like, "Hey, what the fuck?
Get us on their stat front page."
Shit like that. I love it.
Get me Armani on the phone.
Oh man. So we got Christmas tomorrow.
Christmas tomorrow, man. Absolutely.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Sorry, your party's gonna suck.
Party's gonna suck. I really hope you get what you want and not what you need.
I have you. That's all I wanted. But everybody, a Merry Christmas. I hope 2020 wasn't so bad for you, but good riddance to 2020. Merry Christmas. Hope you have a great time with your families. If we don't see you for New Year, Happy New Year's to you as well. So that's it. Have a sorta interesting year, everybody. 2021. Cheers to you.